Okay, everyone, welcome. Round 8, Carlton Collingwood. There aren't too many games which you sort of move on from whatever position you're in, and games that get you up and about like Collingwood. I think Essendon's one of them as well. And I'm excited for this week. It's time to bounce back. You know, a lot's been said. We've been frustrated with the performance against the Kangaroos. You know, obviously we've singled out some players, you know, disappointed in the likes of Murphy and Plowman and whatnot. Time to move on. The beautiful thing about this game and the beautiful thing about life and in general is, there's always next week. And it's so amazing what one good performance can do for the morale of a team, the supporters. And so I, sort of want to move on from last week and focus purely on the Pies this week because it's a fucking cracking contest that's about to ensue. I'm super confident in a response from our boys. You look at the reality of the entire season. We've had one poor performance. Let's not sugarcoat it. The North Melbourne game was a very poor performance. But apart from that, we have been better. We've been in the contest. You can also look at it the other way in the fact that we haven't played a really strong side yet, and we've only played bottom teams. But I'm still optimistic, and I think games like this bring the best out of us. Even last year when we played Collingwood both times, we were in the contest. Speaking of, let's have a look back. So we played them in round 3, and we played them in round 14. Both games we were in the game. We'll focus on round 14 because obviously that was the last time we played them, and that's the most recent, piece of data that we have. So we ended up losing 9-5, 59 to 11-13, 79. We battled willingly. Ultimately, Collingwood were just, a far too superior side. And over the course of the 4 quarters, we really, we grinded them out. We sort of played the game on our terms and made it a bit of a scrap because Collingwood, we're not a team that we can play head-to-head with Collingwood, and that's going to be the case this week. But yeah, Cripps was the star of the show. He had 29 possessions, 3 goals. At times it looked like Collingwood were going to rip the game open, but we were able to just, hold together and stick fat. We lost Levi Casbolt in the warm-up to a broken finger, and Cam O'Shea came in. We had Lockie Plowman go down early in the second quarter with a knee injury, and he was done for the game. And Matty Cruiser also copped a bad ankle injury, and he was finished before half-time. So we were up against it, and it was a really good performance. Charlie Curnow was great. He finished with the 3 goals, 19 possessions. He was double teamed for the majority of the day. You've got to remember, I don't think Harry Mackay was playing in this game. Yeah, I don't think he was. Let me just double check that. Yeah, he wasn't. So again, Charlie played a really strong game. And he had those 2 marks, those 2 famous marks, one with the great call from Anthony Hudson and the other one, which probably goes unnoticed, which was arguably better than the big one. So yeah, that was that. What am I excited about this week? So, we've had our first horror performance of the year, and there will be a response, and I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see, the mindset of the characters. It's really it's a test of character when you get into these situations. So I'm excited to see how we stand up, and I'm excited to see the intensity that we come with in the first 5-10 minutes of the game. I think that'll be really the story of the game, and we'll get a pretty fair idea as to how we're going to go from the beginning of the game. So I'm excited to see that. When you play elite teams like Collingwood, these are the best opportunities for growth. Kids like Paddy Dow, Sam Petrevski-Seton, Zach Fisher, Lockie O'Brien, if he plays, you want to come up against the best because you're forced to play at your best. And I'm excited to see that, and I'm always excited for challenges for the group. And so, it's important. I remember Paddy Dow last year was talking about his matchup with Adam Treloar, and he was talking about how, he just couldn't run with him, and he could just feel the running power that Adam Treloar had over him. And I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing that this week. I'm looking forward to seeing how do players like Paddy Dow and those in his age group, how do they cope with the running power? How much running power have they added to their game? I think we're really going to be able to see it this week because obviously, the Pies are flying. They're fit, they're big-bodied midfielders, and, they're explosive. So looking forward to that. Charlie Curnow, look, I thought he finished the game better than when he started last week. And man, he's a star. Let's not forget, he's just going through a bit of a down patch, and I'm really confident he's going to be able to bounce back. And I think there's no better way to do it than against the Pies this week. And I will back him in to to respond this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. I feel like I'm saying this every week, but I'm looking forward to seeing him and Harry and Mitch. Mitch, it seems like he's going to come back into the side because he's ready to go. I'm looking forward to seeing the three of them together, and who knows? Maybe this week is the week that it clicks for the three-headed monster. So very excited about that. Look, it's a big test for all of us, all of the players, but I'm really excited to seeing the defenders. I'm really excited to see the defenders because Collingwood have these agile forwards, you know, the De Goeys, the Stevensons, the Thomases, the Elliots, and these are the prototype players that we really struggle against. So I'm looking forward to seeing the challenge and how we stack up there. This could be relevant, but Eddie McGuire made some comments on the radio this week about Carlton should be looking to have a coffee with, or the president should be looking to have a coffee with Clarkson and seeing where he's at. Eddie, shut up, mate. I love you and I respect you, but shut up, mate. Stay in your lane. I understand you're on the radio and you put your Collingwood hat on and you take it off, but you're never not a Collingwood person, and therefore you don't get to talk about our club. Nobody from Carlton has ever, in the last few years, really had an opinion against Collingwood or said anything about Collingwood, because if they do, Eddie would be responding negatively. So Eddie, keep your thoughts to yourself, mate. Thank you, but no thank you. What am I mindful of? Everything. Collingwood, I watched them play last week. I think I've watched all their games this year, but that first quarter against Port Adelaide was some of the best footy I've seen in a very long time. They're slick, and when they get going, I think they're the best team in the competition. I think I've seen all the teams at their best, and so far, I think Collingwood look better than any team that I've seen this year. They're just slick. They're just elite. You add a guy like Dane Beams into the side, who was of an already stacked midfield. So just goes to show the potential that they have, and I'm worried about it. I can't see them losing when they're at their best. It's as simple as that. The running power of the midfielders is insane, and I don't see us playing an all-out style head-to-head against them. I think we're going to have to grind them out like last year and make it a bit of a scrap, because if we try and go head-to-head, I just don't think we have the running power, and that's something I'm a bit mindful of. And if the game breaks open, we're going to have to attack, and if we do, I think that's going to leave us exposed, because I just don't think we're quite ready yet to play an attacking style of footy for 4 quarters against a team like Collingwood. So I'm a little bit mindful of how that all eventuates. With a performance like last week, I'm not 100% sure or certain that our young players are able to make that mindset shift and go into this week and sort of put last week behind them. That takes experience. And when you take out Simo, when you take out Newman, if Cruiser is to miss, these are guys that know how to respond and know how to back it up the next week. And so we're missing quite a few senior guys. We don't have a lot of them that play as it is. And I'm just mindful to see how these young fellas are going to be able, will their confidence drop? Will they go into their shells? And I'm a little bit concerned about that, I must admit. There's so many names in Collingwood, and I said it before, but De Goey and Elliott, they're the prototype player that we just, we can't stop this year. The Isaac Heaney's, I just think of that type of midfielder, forward, agile. We don't really have a matchup. Maybe Williamson, but again, you've got to let him ease his way back into the system. So, yeah, it's interesting. Team selection. I think there'll be quite a few changes this week. There's still a lot to happen, so I'm mindful of this being, early. But I think the following will come out. I think Levi will come out. I think Phillips will come out. I think Lockie O'Brien will come out, and Liam Jones will come out. I think Mitch McGovern will come back in. Cruiser will come in. Matt Kennedy will come in, and I believe maybe Hugh Goddard will come in. And that'll be an interesting story, because he's had a good run in the VFL and he's been playing well, and we know that Bolts likes to reward that sort of effort, that consistent effort. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Hugh Goddard come in and seeing how we structure up. The other one could be Liam Stocker could come out and Will Setterfield could come back in. I don't mind either way. I can see the merit in Stocker playing, because you want to give these kids exposure to these type of games, and these big games at the MCG against the traditional rivals. You really want to get these young kids as much of an experience as you can. So I don't mind if Stocker plays, but I can also understand, hey, we've got to win a game. We've got to win this game. And so bringing Setterfield in for Stocker, I can see that happening as well. So that's where I'm at. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to moving on from last week. And it's always a big build-up. There's always the rivalry. It's interesting because I probably feel like Essendon is my most hated team. I think because I enjoy watching Collingwood. I love the way they play. It's great to watch. But the rivalry is always there. So I'll be going at them this week. Like no tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Go the Blues.